So welcome everyone into game number 1 of the 4th and final series of the day. We'll have ACCM playing with the Hindustanis up in the north towards the east. Nicov is playing with the Tatars towards the southwest instead. What do we get for Hindustanis? They're going to have 10, 15, 20, 25% cheaper villagers in the Dark Feudal Castle and Imperial Ages, in addition to 25% faster attacking camel units. In addition to that, we also see for ACCM, he's gonna have for the civilization 2 bonus damage against buildings from camels, like our in Hussar units. Nicov, on the other hand, playing with the Tatars instead, is going to get 25% higher damage against enemy units when fighting from a higher elevation. It's gonna have free Parthian tactics, free thumb ring, in addition to 50% extra food from herdables, and that is key. Ghost Lake is rich in herdables, and you can see that Nikov's already collecting a few of those, and it seems like he's going to be the one finding these as well, and ACCM's having a rough time. Take a look at this captain from ACCM. He's just been kind of unlucky, right? It's only now going to run into some herdables, but Nikov's already been collecting the vast majority of these, I would say. He's just gotten a little bit luckier. Between these and the ones that he already taken back home, he's going to be on 9, I believe, and then there is one over here that he's not collected yet, so that's going to be like 10. And yeah, ACCM is only now finding 2. He's got 4 over here, or 2 over here, that's going to make 4, right? That belong to him, but he's not found yet. And some over here that belong to him, he's not found yet. And then there are finally some neutral sheep on the left-hand side still left. So we talked about the Tatars, but one thing that we did not mention was the fact that they do spawn 2 additional sheep underneath each newly built TC starting in the Castle Age. For the Imperial Age, on the other, on the other hand, you could, for the team bonus, sorry, for the Tatars, I was trying to read the chat and talk about the 6 at the same time, did not work out well. They're going to have 2 extra line of sight on cavalry archer units. Now Nicov is not going to find these, and it seems like ACCM won't find those either. Why is sub on mobile more expensive? Because there is a commission that Apple and Google make out of any transactions made through an app that is distributed from using the Google Play services through the Play Store and whatnot, and for Apple from the App Store. So Twitch is going to require a certain amount of money for a sub, and then they need to charge they choose to charge the user extra so that they can pay Apple and Google their commission, right? Their cut, their 30%. So it's usually cheaper to subscribe from a desktop. There's a possibility that I get a VPN and can afford like 100 subs in Cuba. Well, there are different cost areas, right? And I think Argentina is probably one of the cheaper options. So like some Latin American countries are going to be much cheaper to subscribe in compared to even many of the other cheaper areas in the Northern Hemisphere. But yeah, that's also the reason why if you want to subscribe to like Netflix or HBO or Spotify or something, you try to do it through the app. It's going to be pricier than doing it through the website. Is it safe to use PayPal via VPN? If the VPN is good, I would imagine so. I do use PayPal through a VPN myself. Yes. I wouldn't really worry too much about it, by the way. It depends on what you want the subs for, right? If you want the subs for you, then yes, you can get them for cheaper if you spoof a different location. But for the streamer, it makes no difference because it's going to be always the same revenue split. So it's going to be a larger sub number, but it's going to be the same revenue. But for you, if you want to subscribe to multiple different channels, then that's going to be a cheaper way. Yeah. Turkey is also cheap because they have such a high inflation, I believe. Yeah, Turkey is not economically. I think they're not quite as bad as Argentina still, but I believe they do have a, you know, a pretty similar crumbling economy. Oh god. But you have like 100 subs. That is nice, no? Oh, you mean for like gifting subs in the channel? I mean, it's nice to have the number, yes. And then maybe that does encourage somebody to resub on their own after the gift sub runs out. So there is that, right? In terms of money, it's the same, but it is a nicer number too. Yes. Obviously, learned so much. Nice. Yeah, it's really ultimately up to those people getting the gift subs if they want to renew or not. Otherwise, it's just for 1 month. I've had months where I've had 200 subs, but then the next month it just goes right back down to the standard amount. Alright, PLH is here already for Mr. ACCM and Nicov. Nicov? Guys, before we get any further, are you okay with these colors, or would you prefer to have the colors turned the other way around? I think I am more used to having ACCM in the red color and Nicov in the blue color, so if we are going to do that, we should do that right now before the game goes on for much longer, and before the series goes on for much longer, of course. Also, Nico's from Argentina, the flag's got blue. Let's switch them? I thought so, yeah. Okay, sorry about that, but this makes a little bit more sense. And ACCM's got red in his flag. Yeah, there we go. So Nikov's on the left-hand side, he's playing the blue color, ACCM's on the right-hand side. Sorry about switching the colors, but it's better to do it now compared to doing it much later into the game, and or even worse, much later into the series, of course. Teal versus gray. Yeah, blue and purple, yellow and green. What else? Red and orange. Seems fine. So Sam's getting some scouting information. Nicov. He's got the stable up, but he's not gone for any scouts at all. He's got Stone Scout, and if we take a look at Nikov's scouting information, he knows about ACCM's walls, which is why he decided not to go for any production. Otherwise, it would have been just wasted resources. Instead, it's going to be a play for the castle age for both these guys. ACCM Ditto as well. He does have the stable over here. He does know that Nikov's completely walled off, so it's just going to try and make a play for the castle age himself. I think green and gray are the hardest to see individually, and red and orange the hardest to, or the hardest match to see. Yeah, probably. For green, it can be pretty difficult, like in a grassland map, right? And for gray, it can be very difficult in like snowy maps. The same that yellow can be kind of difficult to see. Potentially orange a little bit, but I think yellow even more so in a desertic map. Yeah. Gray versus green or red? Yeah, difficult. Yeah. Schwer. Is that the word for hard? I tried to remember because the lesson was like 3 days ago and I haven't had really too much practice with it. I looked at the table. There are a lot of countries with sub price equal to 149. That might be the cheapest category. Yeah, I would imagine that's probably where Turkey is. I'm not really sure about Argentina. Argentina, isn't it like $2 or something? Or 250? I don't remember anymore. Cliffy, thanks so much for the resub. Let's go. Yes. Difficult is schwer. Ah, vielen Dank. Thank you so much for the support, Cliffy. 1 month away from a full anniversary as well. Appreciate it. There we are. In real Lugo, by the way, I see the sub badge over there, and it was not there before. I think you might not have shared it. But let me just preemptively say thank you for the resale as well. Some upgrades here for Nicov. It's gonna start knocking on ACCM's doors. Well, ACCM's going for 2 additional TCs at the Defense Siege Workshop. That's a pretty interesting location for the Siege Workshop. That TC won't really be surrounded by farms anytime soon. But he needs to go for it, right? With the crossman coming in from Nicov. ACCM needs some defense over here. Without having to go for elite skirmishers and, you know, getting the archer range up. The man is probably going to suffice. And hi, Wokoyoto, by the way. I didn't say hi to you. I did see you though in the chat. Hope everything's going alright for you. There we are. Beautiful. So Nicov will get cleaned up. He does have a second group of units on the right hand side that he's trying to put pressure with. Scorpion's going to end up pushing across us away, and Nicov won't be able to get any damage done. Meanwhile, back home, he does have a second TC himself though. ACCM. It's not really going to be putting pressure anytime soon. For the most part, has tried to play defensively. Third to see finally on the way for Nicov, trying to play catch up against ACCM. Well, the working count has already gone higher for ACCM by a lot. Nicov is just going to start playing for economy right now, so it doesn't seem like he'll be able to keep on going for too many military units. Well, if he's just going to stick to crossbows, yes. If you want to go for like cavalry archers, that wouldn't be possible. It is 100% possible for Nicov to still get some damage done over here. If he adds something into the crossman army, he will need mangonels, which will also work really well against the scorpions as well. But crosses on their own right are not going to be strong enough, and ACCM's army right now is more than sufficient to push Nicov away and to keep him at bay as well. Which late game composition is better between the Hindustanis and the Tatars? That's a good question. The Hindustanis, they get some of the strongest camels in the game. In Tatars, they get fantastic cavalry archers. They do get camels, but they are not anywhere near as strong. I would say probably liking the Tatars better because the cavalry archers. I think if you get a good amount of those, some pikemen as well, you should be able to do alright against the Hindustanis. Yes, finally an evening that is not so busy with nation scout planning. And currently my laptop is working again, but there is still a risk of it getting worse again because we could not find the exact reason right. I started to hear that, and I feel it for you, man. That little time that I have had to work on stuff of my own that isn't related to my part-time job. 3 villagers going down, hold on, make that 4. 4 villagers down already from ACCM. Nicov's starting to catch up. Notice, if you can get a few extra villages over here, he'll be completely caught up. And this is what I want to see from Nicov. This is what he needed. The forward siege workshop, he's coming forward, right? He's got a monastery as well. And ACCM's got a mangonel. So long as Nikov's paying attention though, he should be able to sustain his army. And potentially keep on getting a few more villages from ACCM here and there. But yeah, the little time that I do have to work on, you know, on like stream or video related stuff, I have spent just organizing the tournament that I want to make, the one that I talked to you about. It's been occupying all my non-other job working time, right? Bam! Big shot though! Castle's getting denied. ACCM does not really hold a candle against the Magnus from Nicov, and he does have his own Magnus over here. If he plays his cards right, might be able to take the ones from Nicov down. Just doesn't seem to be very realistic, because it's going to be a 1-for-1 trade. Nicov's still going to have one left. He's trying to repair it right now. He's going to repair it faster than the camel can take it down. Just like that. Into... Nice! Monk's going down over there to the mango shot. And once again, Nicov does manage to pull himself, you know, in the lead over here. And that is not necessarily going to be a given, right? That was not necessarily going to be the case, but Nicov did manage to get away with it. Now he's bringing the Magnus over. The castle's going to get the lead. Probably is going to get denied. So long as Nicov can keep the Magnus at hand. Should be. Here we go. Nice. Well, the pressure from Nicov has allowed him to get ahead in economy and in military when ACCM was the one significantly ahead in, you know, in the past. The gather economy time is going up significantly for Nicov as well. He's at 4 TCs right now compared to ACCM's 3 TCs, so from this point onwards, Nicov should at the very least prevent ACCM from catching up and work count anymore. From this point onwards, assuming the both players just try to make a play for economy, Nicov should be the first one to have enough to go up to the Imperial Age, while ACCM is not going to take too much longer to go up himself. But a head start to the Imperial Age could still be absolutely fantastic for Nicov. Because Nicov balance with that wood count is so insane. Probably by the time you mentioned that, the economy was looking different, but right now it's fine. You're probably talking about the lumberjack count, right? His rebalance mastery now. Before he was like 1k forward, twice the villagers on it. Yeah. On it compared to food, now he's managed to balance it. Yes, he's gonna be on his way to the Imperial Age. ACCM. It's getting close to having enough resources to go out to the Imperial Age as well. There's one unit that I had not considered for the Hindustanis, and it's one that I still kind of struggle to get used to, and that is the Golem. Struggle to get used to in the sense that, like, historically the Indians in Age of Empires were not good against range, right? They had nothing, but now with the Golem, they do have an alternative that is going to be very high effectiveness against range units. So the Golem over here could, on paper, even counter the Cavalry Archer option for Nicov. Of course, the fact that he's gotta go for castles to produce these units means that the production potential is not quite as high. However, he started going for them already, and he's managed to get to a good amount. It's on the way for ACCM, actually beating Nicov to the punch. The Argentinian should be able to click out to the Imperial Age himself in a moment. He's probably aware that ACCM has clicked up himself just by the score potentially dropping, right? And if Nicov was keeping up with it, if he was paying attention to the score, he probably realizes. we go. Good amount of ghoul ammo ready for ACCM. Nicov. Nicov's gonna start coming for Keshik. This is so interesting as Nicov is going for his own unique unit to counter the unique unit from ACCM that counters the unit that Nicov otherwise would have probably gone for. Now the Keshik could potentially get countered by the camels. That could potentially get countered by the cavalry archers. That can get countered by the Ghulam, and you just go in a circle like that. So what is it exactly, the army composition we are going to get from both these guys? The CN seems to be pretty set on camels in Ghulam, which is good. Nicov, on the other hand, he is going for the Keshiks. He's got 2 castles to work with, but he's producing very, very slowly from a single castle. He's going for chain bar armor right now as well. And the Keshiks will go down to the camels, so he will need something else. 3rd castle on the way. And what are the options for the Tatars? Well, he could go for pikemen, perhaps. I mean, he could go for his own camels, right? But that shouldn't work. CM has gotten Grand Trunk Road. Let's get conscription. Heavy camel. And here comes ACCM. With the Ghulam, the castle does come up still for Nicov, but ACCM is not stopping with the aggression. Nicov tried to get the quick walls up. He couldn't do it on time, and here come the camels right away straight into the soft underbelly of Nicov. Going after the villagers. He's got the Ghulam, he's got the camels, he's got everything. Beautiful. It is not going to be the end of it, of course. This is also disrupting Nikov's economy greatly, so ACCM's current economy is significantly more efficient. He can take advantage of this to keep a stronger military production from this point onwards. Might be enough. That might give him what he needs to take this in the end. Okay, but she's on the way now. He's gonna be thinking of going for hand cannoneer. That is very standard for the Hindustanis as well. They do have Shatagni. But what for though? He does not need hand cannoneer given the units that Nikov's going for. Instead, probably just going to be bombard cannons instead. Play bar than armor. Will ACCM kill the farms so Nicov can place them again in a more secure way? Well, if ACCM took the farms down, that would be a lot of losses for Nicov if he has to rebuild this. But he was just trying to keep the units around and did not try to individually try to target each farm. So in the end, he does get pushed away, and ACCM, it seems to me like he kind of wasted an opportunity over there. He could have taken the farms, yes. And he could have taken advantage of the fact that the economy was so much more efficient for him compared to Nikov's after the raid, to keep the production high and keep the units pouring in. But he decided instead to try and expand himself. He's got an extra TC on the left hand side, he's got a castle on the right hand side. He's decided to take it a little bit slower over here, and this seems to me like it's going to give Nicov the opportunity to come back. A lot of cavalry archers for Nicov already. These are HCA, heavy cavalry archers. Bracer and chemistry already here for +4 attack. He's got Parthian tactics, but he's not gone yet for silk armor. He's not gone yet for leather archer armor. He's going for it now. So yeah, he needs to go for silk armor. He needs to go for thumb ring as well. I believe this is just Parthian tactics he's got. Is there a hill where Tartars can sit down? Yes, there are hills around the map, but they are quite literally around the center of the map. It's just going to be a flat land for the most part at the center. So maybe not the best position for Nicov to take the engagements, right? Yeah, and ACCM's unit control is really good. Got the extra cavalry archers. Nicov's gonna try and make a play for Light cavalry. Eventually Hussar as well. Yes. Leibard armor is coming up. And here comes Nicov. Still missing a few upgrades though. Oh, Flaming Camels would be fantastic if he went for a Timber Siegecraft. He would get access to the Flaming Camels. That is a unit that I never, ever even think about. Because I don't think we have seen it once competitively in like a series tournament, only in show matches, showcasing the new civs. Or when they just had come out, but yeah, I don't think I've ever seen them at play actually, so very interested in that. I'd be very interested to see that. You'll need silk armor. Yeah, this is not good. Cavalry archers are getting completely wiped out by the skirmishers. Not even Gulam necessary for ACCM, just the skirmishers alone, and Nicov kind of go for the light cavalry. They get taken down by the Imperial Camel and ACCM's push. It seems to be pretty much unstoppable right now. I think we saw it in Hidden Cup 4. I think I've seen it once in a real match, maybe it was Winchester, but it only worked versus battle elephants. Right, yeah, again, something like that, like a very expensive, high HP army. It sounds like elephants would be the best scenario for you to go for Flaming Camels. Other GL players went cavalry archers. There we go. It goes on the GG over here. This was to be expected since the last minute. ACCM has been dominating over here the last few minutes actually. He's been dominating, and yeah, Nicov is going to end up taking the L over here. Certainly going to make me reconsider my my view of these civilizations in the late game. Stronger KD for ACCM 6-5, yes, close to it. Economy, stronger economy for ACCM as well. Society, a stronger society stat for Nicov, who ended up getting the most villagers for the villager max count over here at 160, but he ended up taking the most losses as well, with 41 villagers going down throughout the game compared to ACCM's 38 losses. Regardless though, this was really well played from ACCM, and Nicov is unfortunately going to find himself in a position where he was probably not expecting to find himself in, right? Very, very low on the standings, and ACCM, well, he's got to win 1 out of 2 remaining games to remain in the first spot. Actually, yeah, I think so, right? I think with this one, he already guarantees staying first, no matter what, but if he takes another one, he would have won all the sets. And so game number 2 begins. ACCM up in the northwest, playing with the Aztecs. Nicov towards the southeast, playing with the Lithuanians. Starting with the blue player, the Aztecs will begin with 50 extra gold. They will get villages can carry 3 extra resources per trip for free. And then on top of that, we're gonna have for ACCM also, for the Aztecs, 11% faster training military units except for monks, right? The monks will get 5 extra HP for each monastery technology that they research. While for the team bonus, on the other hand, the Aztecs get also 33% faster gold income from relics. Nicov, on the other hand, towards the southeast, is going to have the Lithuanians. First off, 150 extra food upon start in the game. 10% faster movement skirmish and spear units, but also for each relic garrison up to 4 relics, knights and Lycha will get 1 additional attack for free. That means that if Nicov collects 2 relics and then he goes in, and by the way, let's switch the colors once again, right? I used to see him in the red, Nicov in the blue. So yeah, that means that if Nicov doesn't end up getting 2 relics and then in the castle age he's able to go for forging or potentially add-on casting, that's going to get him significantly higher damage for his units in the castle age compared to anything that's possible otherwise. So that could be really good. Can we gain footage? But including some images of some players, teams, or flags will also be nice. Yeah. I can put a video together, and if you give me a scenario file or something, I can just shoot some game footage. Yes. If you want anything specific, like that, the flags and stuff, I don't mind doing that, working with that, but I would need somebody to provide the assets so that I don't have to find them on my own as well, because that takes quite a bit of time. Not expecting anyone to really shoot the music video. Yeah. Something that actually is related to the lyrics would be the best. Yeah, sure thing. Hit me up on Discord and let me know what the lyrics are, and we can come up with something for sure. Yeah, I would actually like to contribute to the Nations Cup in some way. I don't have the time, unfortunately, anymore to just volunteer for admin or that kind of stuff, but I think a video I can do. I love it. It's such a beautiful community initiative, right? The prize pool is community funded, the initiative is community, you know, sourced, and I believe the Capture Each skin as well is kind of donated by Capture Each, right? So it's like the entire community coming together for Nations Cup to happen. I love it. You can also record a verse yourself, maybe? Nah. I wouldn't think so. The stuff that I have planned to do for Terranova 2 assumes that I will actually learn how to sing this year. Alright, so Nicov's coming. He's got some militias. He's gonna go for the 2 militia rush that we have seen popularized so much in the last couple months. Ever since, you know, King of the Desert Fort or so. And yeah, back home he's completely fine. He's not contested. ACCM's not going for any drushes of any kind himself. Nico's gonna be on his way to the Fuel Age very soon as well. It's going to be a drush flush kind of play, I believe. Or is that going to be drush archers? Well, he does begin with extra resources, so if he uses that to just get the militias out, right, it's not really going to take away from his economy that much for him to go for a standard scout play, so he could go for that. And ACCM, he's going to go, of course, for archers in the Fuel Age, and I don't think he's going to start going for militias right now, right? Probably just will bank on the TCs and the quick walls to defend himself, the villagers. And he should be fine. Hey, absolutely real Viper. How are you? Who do you prefer to win this match? I'm a caster, so I am unbiased, and I don't have a favorite person. Even if we have an Argentinian over here. But my expectation would be that ACCM is going to take the series simply by how well he's performed. First 4 sets in the tournament, and how much of a struggle Nicov has had. Nicov did have some downtime that he's not been playing during which he was moving, right? And I'm not really sure exactly where it is that he moved. Somebody said Argentina the other day. I would have a somewhat hard time believing that he would want to move from Europe to Argentina given the current situation of this country, but yeah, he was not playing Age of Empires for a while, and he only had his internet installed very recently, which is also why for the first 3 weeks or so, I think, Nicov didn't play a single set, right? He was he kind of needed to catch up, and that is why we are seeing so much of Nicov all of a sudden.
Okay.
Check the quick walls though. Oh! ACCM! He's getting the quick walls and trapping the militias and the scouts here. Beautiful. Wow! And this is so well played from ACCM. For a moment over there, I thought that I saw the units turn into mana towns. That would have been something, though. That would have been a lot of kind of wasted investment. But no. It is indeed the case that ACCM is the one to go for the mana towns upgrade. It's got 3 militias forward. Yes. Do you think Hera is Argentina or not yet? anybody who ever touches Argentinian ground is going to be Argentinian forever. So yes, Hera is already Canadian, Argentinian, and I don't know how many other nationalities he might want to have. So the trap was good, and ACCM is forward. It's gotta be careful not to get trapped himself, of course, but it's very unlikely to be the case, as now Nicov's going for archers. ACCM does not have the ability to hang around here for very long. He might be able to get one of the archers down, right? But we're gonna have more coming from the same way. From, yeah, where this one came from as well. There's going to be a point after which it's actually worth it for Nicov to keep on trying to battle the gates down over here, because ACCM is keeping a villager idle, just repairing the trap. But I don't think he's going to get there. The archers are here already, so it's only a matter of time until the militias go down, the scouts go down. The scout has already gone down, actually the militias will go down next, and ACCM should be fine. He's getting housed though. He was already going for a house. Nice. So you can delete this now. Gaia joining the fry as well. Just in the Minotaur's way from ACCM. So if I come to visit my great-grand aunt, I automatically instantly become good at football in Argentinian. Yes, automatically you become good at football. You become a hyper fanatic of all things. You get super comfortable around other people as well, super warm. And automatically you become to love asado and empanadas too. That's just the way it works. No, you speak British or American English. I speak Novish English. I don't know. I was trying to develop a somewhat American sounding accent, but it's so freaking difficult. I do not try to do that anymore. I stopped actively practicing because my English got to the level that anyone can understand what I say. That's the important thing, so whatever. Push from ACCM strong though. He's got a lot of archers. The hill advantage is over there. He's got Feather Archer armor coming out. Meanwhile, Nicov, it does not have Feather Archer armor, which means the archers from ACCM are actually so much better against the skirmishers. And Nicov's going for it now. And ACCM kind of had a chance to try and take the engagement. So now he's coming in, not really paying attention to the units though. But he will still end up taking some of the skirmishers down, pushing the villagers away, keeping them away from the goal. And this is the main goal for Nicov, but fortunately for the bull player, it's not the only one. He does have both secondary goals on the back of his base as well, so it's not too bad. Yeah, the 4 gold, the main goal, being under the hill is not ideal for Nicov, but at the very least he does have these 2 on the back, right? If it was the case the other way around, where Nicov was the one putting pressure against ACCM, ACCM's goals are exposed. The main one is also in front of a hill. Then, yeah. Take a look at this. Nico says, I feel like I'm playing from your backyard. What's your ping? Is that good? If Nicov were playing from ACCM's backyard, he would have almost no ping. Unless it means that he feels as if he was playing from a remote computer on ACCM's backyard. In which case, that will make a little bit more sense. Both these players having some latency issues. Still though, ACCM's looking stronger here, mind you. So far, so good. Nicov has a really long transition over to the back goal. ACCM doesn't really get much of anything else by sticking around here, right? Taking the skirmishes over here. He can probably get better trades against Nicov for sure because of the hill, but Nicov doesn't really have... isn't really forced into defending against ACCM because he's not really losing anything from the units being here from ACCM. So Nicov actually engaging against a red player seems to me like it's a higher risk play than what he needs to go for right now. ACCM on his way to the Castle Age. Nicov's on his way to the Castle Age as well. China and Argentina are as far as you are going to get. Well, ACCM is Vietnamese, but yeah, they are very far. I think they're probably playing in a North American server, I would imagine. Game has so far looked better for the red player though. Even KD is about the same. It's going for stone walls. ACCM, he's aware of it already. What is the plan for the red player? He does have three barracks over here. This is what you're expecting to see from American civilizations. Archers in the field age, eagles in the castle age. Nicov on the other hand, he is, by the looks of it, not really going to play for military at all. It seems like we're just going to get extra TCs. Well, not really. He doesn't have the wood to go for any extra TC, so it's going to be a castle instead very soon. A castle, a single TC, and no military production. Nicov's certain thinking of something else. Just not exactly sure exactly what that is, because if ACCM is just going to go for the eagles, and he's going for Eagle Warrior, he's going for squires right now, he will dominate, especially as Nicov's still some ways off from getting the castle up, right? If ACCM is ever able to come in, he might be able to prevent Nicov from even going for the castle in the first place. He's gonna try. And he's got some skirmishers to push the villagers away, and now Nicov is forced into stone walls. So yeah, quick question once again. Does anybody know if Nicov has indeed moved to Argentina or has he moved to a different place? Pretty curious about it. Regardless though, stone walls come out for Nicov, so ACCM cannot come in anymore. He will not stop going for eagles though. He will still try and overwhelm Nicov. And you know what? He might be able to do it. However, he will break through on the right hand side, where Nicov is going to get a castle up already, so these eagles are coming in if he's paying attention. Oh, that was so close! He almost manages to come in, but mistimed the command to move forward, and now Nicov has been able to stabilize himself. He's got the house on the right hand side. Oh, but it's open! And here comes ACCM. He's got the eagles over here. Gotta be careful though. The castle's there, and ACCM knows. But there is a possibility for damage over here if ACCM manages to come in anyway. And Nicov's doing a really good job. Notice how he's bringing the villagers together over here on the wood so that he can get the quick walls up. So he's got the walls up by this wood line. He's going to have the walls up by this wood line if ACCM goes and tries to put any pressure. Yeah, and now it's not going to be the end of it. So ACCM does not want to go underneath the castle anymore. He's going to try and breach through the existing local walls for Nicov to come in and potentially get more damage done. Light Chariot coming out right now for Nicov, and ACCM breaks through the left-hand side. And Light Chariot not great in numbers though. Yeah, and the villages are starting to crumble. As the eagles are coming in, we see 1, 2 villages go down from Nicov. Now he's gonna try and go after the monk. It seems to me like he's going to get the monk. I think he got it. Yes, you can see it here. Yeah, and overall, it's looking pretty good for ACCM still, though. Nicov has managed to stabilize, but is not in the best position. And Kino, thanks so much for the raid. Appreciate it. Welcome. Hope you had a great stream. I hope you guys enjoyed. We're watching the second game in the last series of the day, Nicov versus ACCM for T90 Titans League. Yes. Anyway. River's coming out for ACCM now. Scat also. Wheelbarrow. And Nikov's going for the third TC. ACCM is already on 2 TCs. Or 2 additional TCs, 3 TCs total. For villager picks and 1 more TC, it's gonna be rough. Yeah. Right now, ACCM is looking a little bit stronger. We are. Nikov's light chat push over here is good overall. But ACCM is getting away with the conversions though! Insta converts! Damn! Monks are going down? I mean, I guess so, right? But ACCM should already be able to clean up the rest of the light chai from Nicov. So, the wall player, I do not know if I mentioned the team bonus for him, but he did get, for the Lithuanians, 20% faster work in monasteries. He's got monks coming out, and as a matter of fact, he's going pretty heavily into them. But he's taking some time to start collecting the relics. Right now, we see 2 relics are already collected for ACCM, 1 relic is already collected for Nicov. And the 2 remaining relics, one is going to be inside the ACCM space, and the other one is going to be so far away. Nikov's going to try to go after it, so that he can get at the very least 2 relics. But yeah, ideally with the Lithuanians, you want to get 2 at the bare minimum, and ideally you want to get 3 or even 4 will be perfect, of course. Conversions coming up. ACCM ends up pushing Nicov away, and right now, worker count is very, very similar. 4th and 5th Cs are coming out for ACCM as well. It's a lot of light check from Nicov. Given the fact that he's been producing from a single castle, it's kind of surprising to see just how well this has gone for the bull player. Toman's coming up now for ACCM as well. This could be good. The Aztec monks will be very strong on their own right. We see the conversions coming up over here. The war monk. The war of the monks should be going in favor of ACCM. He gets away with a bunch of conversions against the light chai. Not against the monks from Nicov yet. The units from the blue player are actually back home for the most part. So I guess it's not really going to be a war of monks until Nicov brings the monks over himself as well. They're producing half the time the night, so, and let's go as well. Yeah. So he's done a really good job producing the light chat for ACCM to convert over. So now we have a light chat army for the red player. Nikov's got the same amount of light chat himself, 8 and 8. And you know what? Nicov has had enough of this. He's all fed up. He calls it GG. And game number 2 will go in favor of ACCM, which guarantees the Vietnamese player has won already all 5 of his sets in the group stage. T90 Titans League Platinum Division. Nicov is losing 3 out of 3 sets he's played so far. The only thing left for Nicov to do in this series is try his darn hardest to take game number 3. If he can get the 3rd game, at the very least, he's going to be racking in a point, right? ACCM is already first, and getting the 3rd game is not really going to change anything for ACCM. He's going to remain first. So, yeah, Nicov is is definitely the one over here with the most to lose. He's definitely the one with the highest stakes between the two of these players. But KD for Nicov in the end didn't matter because of the conversions. If you were to add the conversions to the KD, it actually would have been much closer. It would still have been better for Nicov, but just by 1. For the economy, ACCM did have a much stronger economy, so that also plays a big role over there. And finally, we're going to see for Society, a villager max count that is higher for ACCM, and a smaller amount of villager losses for ACCM as well, losing 3 villagers throughout the game. So for me, well, Nicov on the other hand ended up losing 10 villagers, and it was just so rough for the Argentinian overall. Yeah, this is the Lucho army, right? Damn. And game number 3 is here. Welcome, everyone. Let me catch up with the chat a little bit, though. Do you know how players have liked the TTL to Arabia so far? They have had some feedback for it. I remember at the beginning of the group stage, there were some complaints, but ever since the adjustments were made, I don't think I have read anything bad about it. So I would say probably they don't mind it. I have noticed that the elevation generation is different. The most recent other Arabia versions just had lots of tiny hills, no plateaus, where you can fit multiple buildings on. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't think I have seen players complain too much about it after the beginning of the tournament. I think that's something that you sometimes can build a 4 base or a TC on a hill and not really camp with an army on a one-tile hill. Yeah, that's a really good point, Coyotl. Is Arena in the map pool? Yes, Arena's in the map pool. We have Fortify Clearing as well, which is very Arena-like. We have Fortress. It's not necessarily Arena-like per se. It's going to be Uber Arena even. It's much slower actually than Arena Fortress, but yeah. We can theoretically have 3 Arena type maps. On paper, I guess so. Arena, Fortified Clearing, and Fortress. Alright, so for these civilizations, ACCM is playing with the Bengalis, right? That means, and once again, let's switch the colors. Sorry about that. So let's talk about Nicov's civilization first then. Nicov's playing with the Cumans, and we know what that means. Fast fuel into a second TC, into a stronger economy, into hopefully a better late game, especially in the early Imperial Age. But the Cumans is going to have the ability to go for a second TC in the Fuel Age, from where he can train villagers, of course. He's going to have the ability to go for Siege Workshops, from where he can train battering rams. Nicov's civilization will also have access to the Captain upgrade in the Castle Age that he can research, and we'll see, in addition to all of that, for the Bull player, 75 with discount on stables, archer ranges, and finally for the team bonus, 33% extra HP on palisade walls. Now, that's not something that they'll be able to take advantage of course, as quite obviously starting with the stone walls over here kind of negates the need for palisades. While ACCM civilization, on the other hand, is going to have 3 and 3 extra armor on monk units. Elephants for the Bengalis will take 25% less bonus damage, and they have conversion resistance. In addition to all of that, the Bengalis will also spawn 2 additional villagers from each TC every time that they go up to the next stage. And for the team bonus is actually going to be for team games for Bengalis specifically, so let's not go into that. But the extra armor on the monks can be good, and if you were hoping to see more monks, we could potentially see more monks this game, although it's not necessarily what I'm expecting. And yeah, Bengalis have actually been really interesting for elephant archer plays that we have seen a lot of. Yeah. Bengalis armor conversions coming. You know, ACCM is doing a really good job fast castling over here. He's going up on 22 plus 2, if I'm not mistaken, or is that 20 plus 2? I think it's 21 plus 2. I think it's 21 plus 2, so he's going to go up on 23. No, it's 22 plus 2, so it's going up on 24. My bad. But yeah, he's doing a really good job. Notice. Does get about 14 seconds of idle TC time, but it's going to be in the castle age very soon. From all the civilizations you can get, Bohemians, what am I talking about? Sorry, Bengalis and the Chinese. Those are two of the strongest ones that you can fight against humans with because of their ability to keep up with the economy in a way that other civilizations wouldn't be able to. Like, Bengalis get the extra villages out, so it's really good. The Chinese are going to get extra villages upon starting the game, so that's very good, and that allows you to kind of prevent falling behind quite as far against humans. Yeah, but Bengalis on paper should be a little bit better, right? That's going to be 4 villages by the time you get to the Castle Age. And then if you do go up to the Imperial Age, that's going to be probably about 6 extra villagers if you have 3 TCs, or potentially 8 extra villagers if you have 4 TCs. Anyway. Let's see what we get. Castle is gonna be here for ACCM, and he should be going for the extra TCs, and he will. He's got the resources. Not to go for 2 right away, but we see the villagers moving over to the right hand side. There's going to be 1 TC over there, and eventually he's going to go for yet another one. That's probably going to be, I would imagine, maybe around here. If not, yeah, right there. That's about right. That's perfect. Yeah, it's a good location. Wow, I just noticed that my TC actually fits perfectly with the with the layout. I tried to make it so that it would kind of fit the general TC shape, right? But you can see that even the little support sticks are perfectly aligned. Wow. Well, anyway, with the extra TCs coming up, ACCM's going to start catching up in working count, of course, and by the time Nicov does click up to the Castle Age, there's going to be the possibility for ACCM to catch up for about 12 villagers. And right now, there is a 15 villager lead for Nicov, so I think Nicov is not really staying ahead in villager count over here for much longer, because ACCM with the extra TC is going to start, assuming that he can keep production from all 3 going, right, which he cannot right now. But yeah, once he keeps production from all 3 TCs, he's going to start slowly but surely closing the gap in villagers against Nicov. By the time Nicov clicks out to the Castle Age, that's going to give ACCM the possibility to catch up by 12 villagers if he can keep all 3 TCs working. Once again, he's behind by 15, 14 right now. But he cannot, and ACCM might have been a little bit too eager to go out to the Castle Age. Might have been a little bit too aggressive to the Castle Age, so now he actually cannot sustain production from the TCs. That means Nicov is pretty much guaranteed to hold on to his villager lead, and by the time he does get a 3rd TC up, it's probably still going to be better for him too. Anyway. What to expect over here? If Nikov's going to go for what's usually a common strategy for humans in this game on this map, right? He's gonna try and rush the Imperial Age. We take a look at his economy, it does not seem to me like he'll be able to go up to the Imperial Age right away, while ACCM still catching up. Oh, he is catching up actually really nicely. What is Nicov doing? Nicov was not training villagers for a while over there. He got a little bit of extra LTC time. Oh, he went for wheelbarrow. That is why. Yeah, okay, that explains it. That is why Nicov kind of got caught up in working count a little bit. But wheelbarrow, of course, is going to amount to about 3 villagers. And he's going for the 3rd TC right now, so it's going to start putting some pressure. Now ACCM's got the luckiest Ratha I have ever seen. He's coming over exactly where Nicov was going to try to get the TC up, and the Ratha actually in melee mode right now might be able to get a villager down. I think he's going to do it, and yes sir, 1 villager crumbles already for Nicov. ACCM is going to take on the scouts right now. The tower's not going to be enough to take the Ratha down. We have the scout coming over from ACCM as well, just going to try and be annoying. It's going to remain a nuisance as Nikov's Still battling to get the third TC up. ACCM brings yet another Ratha. And come on, man, there's no way. Nicov's losing another villager. Dude, this is so unfortunate. If you are in Nicov's position, you gotta be so frustrated at this. 75%. He cannot go up to the Imperial Age, so he's not going to have the faster Imp, full Treva, Kipchak push that we know the Kumans to be good at. He's not gonna be able to get the 3rd TC up. Without this 3rd TC, he cannot stay ahead in worker count. As a matter of fact, you can see right now that ACCM's got a higher worker count compared to Nicov. There we go, it's looking overall fantastic. For the Vietnamese player, he's bringing extra Rathas in. I'm telling you, Nicov cannot be too happy about this. I know if I were in his position, I would probably be not too happy about it either. Poor Nicov, man. ACCM is just too beastly today. First catch was unlucky, but the extra villagers dying from trying again and again. It's his own mistake, surely. Yeah, in a sense, right? Obviously, ACCM tried to make the best out of the situation, and Nicov was a little bit too stubborn, maybe trying to just get the TC up. After he had the red gun spotted, there was nothing preventing ACCM from keeping, bringing more units and keeping the pressure up. But yeah, it's gotta be rough. Let's take a look. Cameras are going down. Yes. TC comes up in flames. But it does come up. ACCM. ACCM is in a position right now where he's gotten a lead for himself and he does not need to go for any extra pressure over here. A player will be tempted to try and get a 4 siege workshop up and try to double down on the pressure over here, but getting the 1 TC down is not really going to do anything for Nicov. He's not really gotten anything out of this TC yet. And ACCM has had plenty of time while Nicov was kind of scrambling to get the TC up to start getting ahead himself, and he does have an extra villager. He had for a moment an extra villager over here. He was able to get a wheelbarrow himself. He's got heavy plow, right? So the economy for ACCM right now has equalized the economy from Nicov, and while Nicov did have most likely a higher amount of gather economy time, this is going to grow more and more insignificant as the game goes longer. As 27 minutes of extra gather economy time, which would in an ideal world be worth about 540 resources, are going to represent a smaller and smaller proportion of the total amount of resources collected by ball players. So yeah, still looking pretty darn good for ACCM in short. He was collecting the goal on the left, yes. He was collecting from both. And ACCM is going for the greediest walls ever. Maybe not the greediest walls ever. The greediest walls ever are the walls we see team players go in team games where they map the entire map, when they wall the entire map and it's Arabia and you don't have starting walls, but this is still pretty greedy, mind you. Let's go into the edge of the map, right? So it's gonna try to secure, like, what is that, 35% of the map or so? Yeah, probably like that. That's coming out for Nicov. That's a lot of Rathas coming in from ACCM. Way too late though, while the villagers do crumble. Many of these do crumble. The castle does come up, and Nicov will be the first player to go up to the Imperial Age. Oh, you meant doing the 30C on the left-hand side? Yeah, he probably could have gone for that. I'm really sure. He's got some stone right now. I don't think he would have had enough to... He probably would have needed to use the market, right? If he deleted the foundation for this one. It was pretty high. It was 75%. I think would probably would have needed to use the market. Is it talk? Hard to play as always? Yeah. PLH on the way for ACCM. Yeah, I am not the biggest fan of this being the Imperial HTC, but with the castle, I guess there is some degree of protection for this TC that will prevent ACCM from trying to take this one down, right? If ACCM all of a sudden brought the Magnus over to try to get the TC down, that could be rough for Nicov for sure. Do it there in the first place? There is an argument to be made about going for the TC forward. You usually want to go and collect from the resources that are the most exposed first, so that if you get pushed away at a later point, you do have something to fall back to. If he ran out of the gold over here, or if he got pushed away from the gold over here and he did not already have control of this area, or ACCM had taken control of this, which technically belongs to Nicov, then that could be really rough for the blue player. So I do understand it, but it did come at a price quite clearly. What is Nicov doing, by the way? The king is just out in the open somewhere. He's shimmering, flickering a little bit. What is Nicov doing? I think he didn't realize. Imagine ACCM realizing about this, going forward and just taking the king down. Yeah, Nicov's trying to garrison all the villages at the same time. I think bro didn't realize there was a king over there. Oh! Oh! And the king's there! And the king's there! And ACCM! If he pays attention over here, that was so close though! ACCM could not react in time over there. Yeah, and Nicov realized at the last second to garrison the villager. We have two trebuchets right now from ACCM. He's got the Ratha still, and I believe we still have the king somewhere from Nicov. No? Where's the king? He brought the king back, right? He's got the king inside the inner castle now. King likes the gold. He was going there just to provide some, making sure that nobody stole any of his precious gold. He needed a cup. He needed a grail. Yes, it's going down. Nothing that Nicov can do about this anymore. 4 trebuchets from ACCM, 5 trebuchets at that. The TC's going down next. Meanwhile, Nicov's going for Cavalier now. He's got a good amount of knights, but ACCM, he's got Halberdier as well. 36 Halberdier against the knights. The knights are not going to get a good engagement over here whatsoever while he's waiting for the Cavalier upgrade to come in. I think the engagement cannot wait. So the knights will take a lot of losses over here, and he was close to 30 knights when he was going for the Cavalier upgrade. Now it's gone down to 14 over here. It's got 21 total, but the Halberdier are doing so much damage. The Mamadel is even doing a lot of damage to the Cavalier over there. And ACCM's Halberdier just reducing Nikov's numbers into the single digits. He's just shredding Nikov's army down to smithereens, and the only thing Nikov's got left is some nice kind of running rampant at the back of ACCM space and getting some good damage done. But yeah, the king snipe. He should have had a king over here on the back, right? Nicov for a while already, so I don't think the option was there. Oh, you think that? Oh, he moved it. He moved the king. Where's the king for ACCM? Over here. It's full HP though. You think Nicov tried to snipe it? Let me actually just go back over here, make sure that I am not missing out. So the knights are coming over. Yeah, oh, so this is what you noticed. Yeah, ACCM was paying attention, so he did move the king, so that sniping was not a possibility. Well done. Yeah, that could have been really good for Nicov. I'm really sure if he was paying attention to that. I'm really sure that's what he was going for. I think it was probably just a normal raid. Yeah, ACCM is in a freaking beast mode. He has not lost a single series. And now, it seems like he might actually end up equalizing Hera, I think, right? For score. For the minimap, I didn't see that was safe moving. Thought it was forced. Yeah, from the minimap, it's hard to tell, right? So he had just moved it away, and now this castle no longer shelters the king anymore. Instead, the king has moved over to the TC. And ACCM, well, ACCM's got 3 trebuchets, right? So it's gonna take the castle down for sure, and then he can move over to try take the TC down. ACCM top 5? Well, in this tournament, yes. It is top 4 even, currently. It's looking absolutely fantastic. You count the half of the year. We have monks. You expected to see monks once again? We do have monks. Yes. High priority unit from ACCM, of course. Here we are. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. ACCM with the stone walls. He has gotten the walls to the edge of the map. Yes, he's got stone walls. And up in the north as well, he's gone for stone walls to replace the houses that he went for originally that eventually got taken down. Bunch of mock upgrades coming in for ACCM. He's going for elite Rathas as well. The pressure is not dwindling from ACCM and Nicov, because quite frankly, struggling to really put his finger on what to go for that's going to actually counter this, you know? ACCM with pikes is going to get 20% faster attacking Rathas and elephant units. He's got an elite Rathas right now. He's got Theocracy coming in. He's got Blast Furnace on the way as well. Stonewall, half of the map, yes. And the king needs to move. The king needs to move. The treasures are coming over. And does ACCM expect the king to be over there? We have a lot of Halberdier. And the Rathas from behind the Halberdier also trying to take the Cavalier down. It seems like the Cavalier are going to go down. At the very least, that should be the case. We have the melee mode for the Rathas over here. They're still going to come out on top. Lots of conversions coming out from ACCM is going to make this a very precarious position for Nicov and the king. He moves it over to the left. So Nicov was attentive and aware of the fact that his king was going to be exposed, so he does move it over to the next castle. And I'm sorry, Mario, your princess is not here anymore. Nikov's going to change the rules of the game and move the king over to the next castle. ACCM's going to have to keep on going and his journey to find the lost king. So yeah, the pop upgrade of Bengalis. Mahayana, well, he doesn't. That's pretty easy to tell. If you add military and work count over here and it tells you this the same population you have over here, then he doesn't have it. So a lot of Halberdier Rathas coming out from ACCM, although there is a big ball of units from Nicov that seems to be doing alright against the trickle of units that ACCM is going for. It seems to me like the red player needs to actually try to group a few units before going forward again, but he's going up to the castle now. He is going after the king, you know it. Nicov is probably well aware of the fact as well. Let's check. There we are. The castle's going down. The castle's going down. And the king? The king's out of the TC. Nicov cannot move the king anymore. I mean, there is a tower, but he's going to call it GG. This was bound to be game over. If it weren't because of the push from ACCM, which honestly, on its own right, would probably have wiped Nicov off this map altogether, it was going to be because of the king snipe, right? So Nicov was running out of fortifications to garrison the king on it. Just ACCM's performance this series and this tournament so far has been out of this world. 3-0 for the Vietnamese player. Let's go through the achievements as usual one more time. We'll see for Militaria. Better KD for Nicov. Did it matter? Probably not. It was a very small difference in KD, and then ACCM got a bunch of extra conversions compared to Nicov as well. We take a look at economy. We see a stronger economy for ACCM, right? Collecting about 5,000 or so extra resources. And while the villager max count was a little bit higher for Nicov, he was also the one to take the most losses. 33 villagers had gone down, while ACCM ended up losing 22 villagers throughout the game only. So well played. ACCM 3, Nicov 0. Let's go back and take a look at what the standings are looking like after this. All right. So, ACCM wins the 5th series with a clean score over here. It's going to go out to 13 points. Aldout is on 7 points, still 2nd spot. He's got one more series to go through. Bass is in the 3rd spot with 6 points over here. Does not have any more series left, so Doubt is not moving lower than 2nd spot, at the very least not by Dallas, not by running. The only opportunity for Doubt to get knocked out of here is going to be by Winchester, taking the last series he's got with a clean score, I think 3-0. I'm not really sure if Doubt versus Winchester went in favor of Doubt or Winchester anymore. It went in favor of Doubt, so the only way for Doubt to get knocked down to 3rd spot, and everybody else, of course, 1 spot, would be by Winchester winning the final series with a clean score. Nicov loses the 3rd series in a row, and he's down to 2 points only. He is in a pretty precarious position. He's got 2 series left to go, but he's got to rack up 4 points at the very least, and that is just a tie running in Valles. If Winchester gets, as much as 1 game, he will also go up to 6 points, so Nicov is going to be in a rough position as well, and there is definitely a chance for Nicov to get demoted over here, for sure, while Doubt's looking like he's guaranteed to move on to the playoff stage. It's just a matter of